evening, everyone. Hello, Jane. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Bradley. How are you today?
I'm much better, thank you. In case it's not obvious, I'm not in the studio with Jane today. I am working from home. I have had another bout of the dreaded COVID, which has been a lot of fun. But I'm here, ready to talk about Sentoo.
Excellent. Yeah, we've got a lovely programme to put together for everybody this evening. Introducing the 4 new Sentoo wigs that I've got at the side of me. So we've got Daisy, Fuchsia, Gardenia and Primrose, all following in those lovely names of different flowers as the whole collection are. And I think we've actually got some stunning little wigs as well, really, in this collection. Something new and something a little bit different, Bradley, to show everybody.
Absolutely. And how many colours have we got in this new range?
We've got 5 new colours in the collection as well, which we've got a whole range going from something called Purple Heart, and I'll show you all the colours as we go through, going down to very soft golden browns and then some really nice ashy blondes. Because I know we're always getting asked for a nice ash blonde. And I think this time we've actually succeeded and we've got that ash blonde for everybody, which is really good and really exciting. And we've got our whole new brochure as well. So a completely...
Oh, that's beautiful, Jane. It's the first time I've actually seen it.
Yeah, the first time Bradley's seen it. I actually managed to swipe one out of the office today without anybody seeing me. Everybody probably knows now. It's great. It's actually the proper size for a brochure, bigger than our original Sentoo brochure. And I think from looking at that front page, you can actually see it actually looks really classy and really, really exciting. And it is all dedicated to the Sentoo Premium collection, the Sentoo Lotus collection, and there's also a new collection in the back as well. And when everybody gets their brochures, they're going to be thinking, when can I actually get hold of those new wigs in the back of the brochure? They will be available, but they're not yet. So it's a bit of a teaser for you all. And very sorry that they're not available yet, but they will be launched in 2023 in that first quarter. But for now, we've got the 4 new Sentoo Lotus wigs, which are lovely. And it's nice with the Sentoo Lotus because these have all been made on the same foundation as the Aster from the original Sentoo Lotus. So it's the Aster with the 4 orchid flowers. So it's on one of the really, really nice foundations. I'll just give you a quick reminder of what those foundations look like. And as you can see, we've got the monofilament top. We've got that extended lace front on this one. So if you want to take it away behind your ears, you're going to be able to do that quite easily as well. Then we're going down into a beautiful stretch net area that is all hand tied and a small amount of machine wefting in that bottom area as well. So it's giving those clients, I think, the absolute comfort they want from an actual wig. So for those of you who are watching, if you're actually, thinking of getting a new wig, if you already wear the Sentoo collection, this new collection is really good because you've got the comfort factor in all of these actual wigs. And they all come on a 54 centimetre foundation. So you've got a nice lot of give as well. They're going to fit an awful lot of people out there. You've got your nape adjusters as normal. And these are done with some Velcro. And if I can stand up, you can see that a bit easier, where we can just take it in and take it out to make the wig bigger. And as you can see in the nape, we've got an area of anti-slip PU. Again, just giving you that security. And anti-slip PU on the ear tabs as well. And also going around that horseshoe connection. So when you're wearing it, and if you've got anti-slip PU on it, as your body temperature warms up and you warm up, that actually tends to stick to the actual skin. So it really does give you all of that security and comfort that you're actually looking for in that perfect wig, really, which I think is one of the most important factors when we're looking at wigs for people.
Absolutely, Jane. And I think the
Really
Lotus collection is one that you've really brought up a lot over the last, 2 years of us doing this now.
gosh, yeah. I mean,
We love
this
the
is
Lotus.
Go on, sorry.
I was just going to say, we absolutely love
Okay.
the Lotus. So I'm really glad we get to see some new styles in there, and you can show us those tonight. Whilst you're talking about them, though, I have to do some tech work in true 2020 fashion of doing a webinar at home. The Instagram feed is not working. I have no idea why, but I'm going to look into that. So, Jane, I leave everyone in your trusty hands.
Okay, then I'll talk to everybody else who we've got on Facebook and YouTube.
Yes.
It's funny, this is the first time we've been back live as two separate people in two separate places. You're normally used to seeing me and Bradley both in the studio together. But tonight he's at home because he's been poorly, as we actually said earlier. But he's been well enough to do this tonight, which I'm grateful for. Or otherwise, there would have probably been a lot more tech issues if I was trying to do all the tech with it as well. In fairness, I would have had Bradley on like loudspeaker telling me what to do and what buttons to actually press. So hopefully we'll be able to get everybody on Instagram, because I know we've got a great following of people on Instagram. For me and Bradley, we both said we've actually quite missed doing our live evenings with everybody. So for us, it's actually quite nice to be back to see everybody again. But in the future, or in the very near future, we're going into a slightly different area, slightly out of our comfort zone, because we've got so used to kind of being on camera and talking to people and seeing people. So we're going to actually move across slightly and go into a podcast. So really, when we get going on those and they're advertised, do just press that play button and listen to us, because it is a great thing to actually do. We've actually got one on our feed at the moment that Bradley put on today, and it's a podcast I was a guest on a few weeks ago, which has just actually gone live. So again, catch up with that on all of our social media, and you'll get a kind of a feel for what we are going to actually be doing ourselves, which should be quite good. And how are you getting on with the Instagram, Bradley? Still playing?
Yeah, still not there, I'm afraid, Jane, but I will keep working on this in the background, so please do continue. This video will save, so we can share it at a later date.
Excellent. I will actually carry on, because I don't want to keep you all. A lot of you might have lovely things to do this evening, nice lot of plans. Down here, it's a bit of a cloudy evening. It's warm and humid, but cloudy, so we're not missing anything much by Bradley being stuck in his bedroom. Well, he can't go out anyway, and me being here in the actual studio. The first one I'd like to actually show you is the gardenia, which is the one right next door to me. As you can see, we've got that beautiful, beautiful classic bob, but it's got a very nice long side fringe to it, which works really lovely. And again, because of the way these are made, if you wanted to cut more of a fringe into it, that's not going to be a problem for you. You're going to be able to cut a fringe into that quite easily. And this is one of our new colours that she's actually in as well. I'm just going to turn her around so you can see how beautifully that is actually just cut into that nape area. I mean, for a hairdresser to achieve such a perfect look like that, you're going to have a really good hairdresser on board. But we can actually achieve these brilliant cuts with a wig. So you can see it just falls absolutely beautifully. This, as I said, is one of the actual new colours. And this colour is actually called L12/14LR. So the LR, again, just to remind you, stands for long rooted. The actual name of the colour is called birch rooted. And as a description of that actual colour, I would say it's, and if I bring it up closer to the screen, I would say it's a warm golden brown with a very subtle warm but long root to it. So that long root we've got, it just merges into that lighter brown colour coming through the ends. So it's really subtle. It works really well on this particular style. And also the style on the end, the long one, the fuchsia, it looks absolutely beautiful in that style as well. So if you're looking for something quite classic, something quite easy to actually wear, and this kind of style, I think, and colour would actually suit everybody's skin tone as well. It's almost as if you've been away and the sun's taken some of that colour out of your hair, leaving you with a slightly darker root, as you can see, but blending down through into those lighter ends through the middle lengths and the end colour. As we actually said before, if you wanted to cut more of a fringe into this, it's really quite easy to actually achieve because the hair lies completely flat. So taking it to one of your hairdressers, you're going to be able to change that cut with it completely. Hopefully we're going to do a few live videos for you showing you the differences you can get from each of these wigs over the coming weeks. So you're going to actually be able to see the differences that we can actually do with some of these actual wigs. So that's the Gardenia, and I would say she is rather beautiful and possibly one of my favourite ones out of this collection. You tend to get favourite ones in all collections and your go-to wig that you want to actually look at. But I think for that person who's been wearing a bob, they've got a fringe, they want to grow that fringe out, this one would actually easily take you to that kind of look. And whilst Bradley's still playing, I'm now going to actually talk to you about the second one in the collection that is the Primrose. And the Primrose, again, beautiful colour. And the colour on this one is an ash rooted. So the ash rooted colour is a L6/22R. And I would say it's a very warm ash. And it's got a very, very subtle root area to it. So it's almost like a smudge on that root area. When we're actually looking at the style of this, though, again, absolutely beautiful. And if I just bring my trusty head in, you'll be able to actually see a little bit more what she is actually like close up. And this is in one of our original colours, which is the lovely L60 MP. So you've got that real kind of soft candy floss pink that, again, suits everybody. And if you're a more mature lady, got your hair grey or white, or you want a little bit of a change, this works, again, really well. So looking at the Primrose, you can see it's really cut nice and short, again, shingled into that nape area. We've got some nice layers going on through here, but through the top, which I think is really nice, we've got that little bit of lift and that little bit of body to it, with that little bit of wave on the end that you can actually play with and actually get it to go into different shapes just with your fingers. And I think that's actually quite nice because it's not going to actually be too flat on anybody. Then coming around to the sides in the front, again, we've got these lovely soft beach waves that have been put into it. And normally when we're looking at beach waves, we're looking at much longer hairstyles. But I think, again, this works really quite nice for those people who want that short style. They want to have a little bit of fun and feel as if they've got quite a funky style with it as well. So as we turn it around, you can bring that forward if you wanted to, so it's more over the face. I quite like it brushed back on one side, and you can just tease those little curls and waves into it. So again, I think that's really nice. And because we've got that lace front, and I think lace fronts are really important when we're looking at wigs and how they're manufactured nowadays, if we wanted to take the hair away from the face, and I know there's a lot of ladies out there who do like to wear their hair away from the face, Not everybody wants to actually have a full fringe. You're able to actually take that away, and you've got that really invisible hairline with it as well, which again I think works really quite well. And I'm not sure if we're freezing. I can see Bradley, but that's it.
No, we've put you full screen, Jane, with me in the corner. We are now live on Instagram. So just so
Oh,
that's
brilliant.
really clear for everybody on mobile, we've made you larger on the screen.
Oh, that's scary.
But if you've just joined us from Instagram, welcome. Sorry about that. We've had a bit of a tech issue today that I've managed to resolve. I don't know how, but here we are. I'm live from my bedroom. Jane is in the studio, and today we are talking about the Sentoo Lotus collection. 4 new styles, and which one are we on, Jane?
We're actually on the second style, which is called Primrose. Primrose is absolutely lovely. Very, very short into that nape area, shingled in at the nape, and you've got that lovely lift on the crown if you actually want it, with that just that enough movement just to actually tease it and actually make it quite exciting. You've also got that lovely beach wave going on all the way through. And just before you all managed to come on, we actually were talking about the invisible lace fronts that we got on these. So for those people who don't really always want to actually have a wig coming forward, having a fringe coming forward, you can actually get away with taking it back because of that lace front, and nobody's going to actually see or actually notice. For those of you on Instagram who might have missed the first one, I'll just quickly recap for you, just so you don't miss out, because these are the 4 new styles, as Bradley said, from the Lotus collection. This one's called Gardenia, and again, you've got a little bit of lift on that crown from how it's actually knotted, slightly layered all the way down, but shingled again really beautifully into that nape area. And the lovely thing about the Gardenia, I think, is because we've got this long sweeping side fringe, which works really, really well. If you wanted to take the fringe into it, you're going to be able to cut more of the fringe into that if you wanted to. But as it stands, you can actually also appear as if you've been growing out of your fringe from your classic bob if you've been wearing a classic bob. This was one of the new colours, and this new colour is called Birch Rooted. And it's really, if to describe it, it's a warm golden brown, but it actually has a very, very subtle root, as you can see. It's almost as if you've got one natural colour and the ends have just been lightened and sun-kissed by the actual sun. So I think
very summery,
this colour, it's a really nice colour, and I think it's that kind of soft tone that would actually suit most people as well, Bradley. It's quite a good tone to wear on any skin type and would suit most people, because you've got the depth at the root, but you've got that lightness that is going to actually soften all around your features and onto your face. So we've got 5 new colours, which is always exciting when we've got new colours.
So Jane, just before we carry on, we've had a question come in about the one that was on show, which was style number 2.
Okay, this one, which I've just taken off the head.
No, that was style number 1 that we went back to.
No, sample 1 was the Gardenia.
Mm-hmm.
Sample 2, we were talking about the Primrose. What was the question anyway?
It was, is this a new colour? Because I think it was the pinky colour that you had on the mannequin.
Oh, okay. No, this one, sorry, Bradley. Yeah, this one I was showing the Primrose in the L60 stroke 600 MP. And it's the real soft pink candy. It's like a candy floss blonde, candy floss pink colour. You've got a lot of very, very kind of bleached platinum white tones going through. If I bring that closer to the screen, you can see. And then we've actually got that lovely pink shade running through it as well. Again, I think that's a really fab colour if you want to actually change the colour of your hair, if you've got white hair or grey hair, or you just want to actually be a little bit more funky, really, without going too mad and actually going too bright. It's a great colour. It's one of the colours we've loved over the actual years as well, isn't it, Bradley, with this
It
collection?
is. I think every time a colour comes out like that, we get a little bit obsessed with it, don't we? We want to see it in every style possible.
We do, and actually that colour's probably been around for about 2 years now as well, but it looks completely different in different styles as well. So
Yeah.
sometimes we do bring those colours into the new collections as well, if they actually work well with the actual style. This is another of the new colours. This is the ash rooted colour. As you can see, we've got that very, very subtle root going through it as well. And on the top as well, it just breaks up that real kind of bleached blonde look. And with this one, I would say we're looking at a very warm ashy blonde. It's quite ashy, but there's a lot of warm undertones to it as well. Again, beautiful colour, and excuse me, the style works really well, which is the primrose.
I must say, Jane, I really love the texture on these new styles. I think that's the thing that really stands out to me, is the natural kind of soft wave that all of them have. So none of them are poker straight. They don't look synthetic. They're very, very natural in hair texture.
Actually, that's exactly it. It's just that natural movement that we've got to them, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Which is great. And it's ones that you can actually play around with and just tweak to get them to do exactly what you want them to do as well. Great wigs, and not expensive either. The gardenia comes in at £310, and the primrose is £302. Excuse me. So that's the kind of price band that we're actually looking at for them.
Yeah. No, they are absolutely stunning wigs. I think they also just have that added element of the comfort to them, don't they, as well? Because the caps have been really, really carefully made.
Absolutely. Okay, we've got Audrey just asking a question.
We have.
Are any of these fully hand knotted? She's got a few clients who would like the gardenia. Audrey, it's lovely. You're going to love it when you see it. I'll show you the base again, because you might have missed that at the very beginning of the actual programme. The base is actually based on the aster from the Lotus collection, and it is mainly all hand tied, apart from the nape area where we've got some machine wefting, and that's just put there just so we can keep the hair lying nice and flat and it's not jumping out. Then we go into the stretch net area, which is lovely, the monofilament top, and then that extended lace front as well, with that lovely anti-slip PU at the ear tabs and also in the nape area. So it's going to be really secure, and they're going to actually love it. They're going to think it's really comfortable. These were actually launched today, Audrey. So yeah, get on the phone tomorrow and you'll be able to get them in for your clients. They're going to love them. They are really nice. This is another new colour, and I think for those ladies who want something bright, they love their reds and they love their burgundies and they love all those autumn shades that we actually have. And we're, beginning of the summer now. Summer passes really quickly in this country, and we're soon going to be looking into autumn. And we've got this particular colour, sadly, but it's true, Bradley, is the L/74R. And this colour is what we actually call Purple Heart. And I always think when I look at this, it just reminds me of all those shades of like the autumn berries that you actually get on the trees. You get all your blackberries, you get all your red currants, and all these different colours all mingled in together. And that's what I actually think of as this. So it's all those autumn shades of all those berries. And you've also got quite a contrasting root to it. So if you want something that is actually quite different and quite a lot of fun, then this style works really, really well. Colour-wise is absolutely stunning. I don't have it here in a long one. I wish I did, but I don't actually have it in a long style to show you.
I bet that would look absolutely gorgeous in a long style, Jane. There's something about it that's very magical.
It's just very rich, I think. It's lovely. I'm going to get a long one up. I haven't got one here. I've seen it before in a long style, and it does work really, really well. This is another of our new wigs as well, and this one is actually called Daisy. Let me get her on properly for you. And Daisy is an asymmetric wig, so we've got that lovely longer hair over the actual front as well. Again, a lot of clients like to have the hair slightly different and slightly longer over to one side, which is fabulous. Again, very, very short coming through that back area and short through those sides. We've also got quite a short top to it. And the reason for that is we want to encourage people to put some product onto it and use different products on it. And I'm just going to grab a product very quickly. And this helps you to give it a lot of texture as well, because not everybody wants to just have their wigs quite flat. They want to have a little bit of texture to it. And just by adding a little bit of wax to these wigs, a little bit of gel, you can actually create a lot of texture and a lot of different looks with it. And I think by doing that, you really enhance the colour as well, because it really helps you see through all those layers into the actual different shades. And
I was going to say to you, Jane, that's
we've
really
actually
brought
got.
out the roots. It makes it look so much more dynamic and like dimension to it by having the dark root come through. It's beautiful.
Do you know, I think it changes it completely. And I think sometimes when you get that wig straight out the box, first of all, it can look a bit flat. It might not look very exciting, but a little bit of product just running through it, and it just livens that colour up completely, which
100%.
is absolutely beautifully. So this is the Daisy, and the colour this one is in is the L22R. So again, we're actually looking at the ash rooted. So this is the ash rooted colour, which I think is really, really nice. It's a slightly warmer ash. You've got some warmer tones going through it, but you've got some of those really ashy blondes running through it as well. And I love that you can actually just have this longer side to it as well, just hiding over the actual eye if you want to. Again, the way they're constructed, you can actually take it shorter, you can put fringes into it and change it quite a lot as well if you actually want to. For those of you who just joined us, we're looking at the new Sentoo Lotus collection. 4 new styles, the Gardenia, Primrose, Daisy, and the last one we're going to show you is the Fuchsia. And the Fuchsia is the longest one out of the actual collection. The one on the actual display, the colour of that one is the Aspen Melange Rooted. And that colour, I think, and when I'm describing it, I'm looking at a mixture of different ashy blonde shades with a very soft brown running through it and just a very subtle root. And what's so nice about it, we've got some of those really nice blonde baby lights going through it as well. So at the moment, a lot of people are going for those blonde baby lights going through their hair. And with the actual Fuchsia, we've actually achieved that as well. I'm going to put one on to this head, so I've got a slightly different colour here. This one's the Oak Melange Rooted, so one of our original colours. But just to show you how beautiful this style is. And with the Oak Melange Rooted, we've got that real kind of almost baby lights running straight through that front area, so it's almost like a money piece going on with the actual colour. The actual shape of it, I think, is really, really lovely. because it really does angle down. So it's more of a concave look. We're shorter at the back, coming down longer at the actual front. And it really gives you those really chic, lovely, soft, beachy waves. So I'll just turn it around so you can see it as we actually go around. And I think you'll all agree how lovely this particular one is. Again, I think she is one of my favourites, this one. It took a while when we were designing it for the factory to actually get that really nice subtle cut, bringing it forward. And colour-wise, I think they've actually hit it off. This colour looks absolutely fabulous in it. But if I bring the new colour a bit closer, get rid of that head. And if I bring the Aspen Melange Rooted, you can really see how subtle that is. And you can see what I was talking about, if I can, with all of those very nice baby lights that we've actually got going through it as well. So works really, really well. And we're slightly darker on that underneath section as well. So we're getting a lot of tone and creating a lot of texture with that tone as well. So colour-wise,
I think that looks so natural, Jane. It looks like you've had your hair done professionally, like highlights and everything, you know?
Do you know, I would love to have it done like that. I think it's beautiful, isn't it?
It really is.
I don't think my hairdresser would do it for me, though. She's got a thing about me being dark.
We had this discussion earlier. So we've had lots of lovely feedback about this, Jane. We've had 2 messages come through on the Instagram. We've had this is a beautiful piece, and another one saying gorgeous. So I think this one's really well received. And the shade in particular, everyone's loving right now.
That shade is absolutely beautiful, and it's such a subtle shade as well. And that to have those little blonde baby lights going through it, I think works really, really well with it, Bradley. Yeah. I think actually with all 4 of them, they're all great styles, all got a little bit of something different about them. I think possibly the fuchsia, the last one we showed you, is probably going to be a really firm favourite with a lot of people, and the gardenia as well, because it's a very, very classic look. But not forgetting the primrose, I think is lovely, with those soft little waves as well around the front, because not everybody wants long hair. And for those people who want to be a little bit more funky, then the daisy works really well as well. Just get your product.
I think the fuchsia has the edge for me.
That's yours. Yeah.
I very much enjoy that one.
Yeah, that one nearly disappeared off my display today, actually. Somebody's seen it yesterday in our salon here and they wanted it. It's like, no, you can't have that one, not yet.
I was going to say, not me. I haven't been lurking around. But Jane, we've had some amazing feedback on these tonight. And I just wanted to say to you, to touch on a point you made a minute ago, about the factory and how long it takes to get things right. Just how long have these been in the making, this range?
Right, it's been a little bit longer than it normally would, because we did actually go into lockdown. So that's a real shame that we'd gone into lockdown. So they did take a little bit longer. I was due to go and visit the factory at the beginning of lockdown 2 years ago. I was just looking at flights and then we were locked down. And if I was there, it would have speeded things up a lot more. So we've been doing things backwards and forwards by post. So I would say this collection of 4 wigs has probably been about 2 years in the making.
Wow. And usually, I mean, it's never a short process, is it?
It's never a short process, and we're normally working like a year in advance on everything as well. So these were actually delayed. And you are looking probably a year to 18 months for any new wigs, any new collections to actually be released. There's a lot involved, really. Looking at the foundations, getting the foundation right, the sizing right, and then the mixing and the blending of the colours as well.
Something I will say actually about this is that there's so much that goes into these wigs behind the scenes, including just the cap construction itself. Years and years of kind of trial with this to work out what exactly is perfect for the customers. So you can really, really relax when ordering these, knowing that you're going to get a really comfortable, well-fitting wig.
I think out of all of the collections, and having involvement in a lot of the collections, with the Sentoo Premium, Sentoo Lotus, that is one thing you can be sure of. You're going to get a very comfortable cap. And also the other great thing about them is, Bradley, is they're very lightweight as well.
Yes.
Because a lot of the wigs that we do have, or other collections have, there's a lot of hair in them. And they feel quite thick because there's a lot of hair in the wig sometimes. And, you know, your hairdresser's trying to thin those out. But again, with these, we've actually worked with our clients. We listen to all the feedback that all our clients give us. And it's really great when we get, you know, feedback if it's good or if it's actually negative as well, because we can work to actually improve things as well, Bradley, when we get any kind of feedback. But these are really lightweight as well. So you've got the comfort and you've got the lightness and weight as well, which is fabulous.
Yeah, I really can't wait to see them in person. All lined up.
Real
and
life.
Also the brochure.
And also the brochure, because you've not seen the brochure yet either. And Bradley done a lot of hard work on our brochures. So that's
I can't take the credit for all of it. We have as an EU group designed this brochure, and it's beautiful. It was actually done by a lady called Anna. She's done a fantastic job on this. It's just stunning. I jump in at the end and kind of just decide what finish we put on the paper, which is something that really makes me excited. But we'll have a look at that when I come in.
Yeah, as you can see, the images are absolutely beautiful that we've actually got. So yeah, the whole team, all of the Aderans team in Europe, here in the UK, all worked really quite hard on this new collection. And yeah, I think they're beautiful. And I hope everybody else, when they get them, you know, like them as well. Give us your feedback, because it'd be really good for us to have your feedback as to if you like it, what you don't like about it. And yeah, and then we can move on to the next one. But the next ones are already in the process anyway. But yeah, that's why it's always great to have everybody's feedback, so we can get everything right all the time.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for showing us through those tonight, Jane. I've really enjoyed it. And obviously, apologies again for the technical issues. It's something that can't be helped, but it happens. We move, we sort it out.
Do you know, it wouldn't have been going live without a little tech issue, really, Bradley, especially because you're in a different building today as well.
Yeah, I've got real 2020 nostalgia right now. I'm at home, COVID's back, there's tech issues, I'm doing a webinar from my bedroom.
Everything's normal.
Everything's normal. I'm very comfortable right now in this place in my life.
But hopefully we'll have you back in the studio soon. We're hopefully going to be able to come back to you soon. We're not doing our every week and every fortnight now, as you probably gathered, that you don't see quite as much as me and Bradley live anymore, but we will be popping up on your screens from time to time. One, we miss all of you, and hopefully you actually miss us as well, and it's always lovely to show you new things. But we're going to be moving on to slightly different territory, aren't we, darling? And we're going to be moving into doing podcasts as well, so that's a completely new thing for us, which
so
is
keep
great
your eyes
fun and
peeled
quite
for
entertaining. Yeah, absolutely. They will be entertaining, I think.
They will be very, very good. It's something very different for us. I do feel that I have a face for radio, if you know what I mean. So I think it's going to be really good for us to have the podcast going, that we're going to have everybody that we can get involved where we can. It's a very exciting time. So if you have any stories you want to share with us, send those in to info@trendco.co.uk, which is just down there. And if you would like to be involved, if you've got something you'd like to say,
if you'd like to be a guest speaker with us, let us know.
Absolutely. Yeah,
nobody's going to see you because it's all going to be just on a podcast. So yeah, if you would like to join in, we'd love to actually hear from you. We're going to cover a multitude of different subjects, everything to do with hair, scalp health, whatever you actually think of. But yeah, if you want to tell us your experiences of when you lost your hair, when you had to start wearing a wig, how you coped with it, we would love to actually talk to you.
Definitely.
So it'd be great to talk to other people.
Yeah. And one final thing, if you're a trade customer with us, we are doing a trade show in Manchester at the very end of this month. We'd love it if you could join us. It's going to be really good. We've got some exclusive first looks at new products coming in the future and live demos from yours truly, me and Jane.
Yep. All day long, we're doing live demos.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give the office a call on 01273 774977 and we'll be able to actually get you booked in for the day or the 2 days that we're actually there, right in the centre of Manchester. So it's going to be a great time. And on the Sunday evening, we're also going to be having cake and champagne because we're actually celebrating our 20 years of actually being with Aderans. Trenco's been around for a lot longer, but it was 20 years this year that Aderans actually took over. So that would be really good as well. And we've got Marie who's come up. She's looking forward to the trade show. Brilliant. We look forward to seeing you there as well, Marie. So yeah, we've got cake and champagne, which would be good, and live demos and all sorts of exciting things.
Yes.
And you'll meet the team as well. Meet us in
You will, so don't miss out. More information on the trade show can be found on our website as well if you'd like to look. And any information about or to purchase any of the styles that you've seen today, head to the website, which is below Jane over that way. Trenco.co.uk.
Which is trenco.co.uk. Yeah, adranshaircentre.co.uk. So log on this evening, you'll be able to find them, or give the sales team a call tomorrow and they'll actually be able to help you out as well. I think some of these new colours and styles are going to disappear quite quickly off the shelves. Really.
I agree. I would grab those while you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Be the first to get it before we start wearing them.
That's it. Me and Jane running off with all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll be able to fight over a certain one.
I think we will. Well, Jane, on that note, I think let's wrap this bad boy up. And we have loved having you back with us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, sorry for the technical issues.
No problem.
Foreign territory, but not really. And we will see you back on a webinar very soon. And in the meantime, join us on our upcoming podcast.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, and listen to the podcast if you get a chance. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Stay safe. Bye.